Hello and welcome to my 5th Java development tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to talk about the while and for loops. A while loop is a loop which will perform a segment of statements or a block of statements while a given condition returns true. That means that while a condition which is set, like just as an example, if 10 is bigger than 5, then it will loop through that statement or block of statements as many times as that condition is true. So first I'm going to create a while loop and show you how it works. So let's create a while loop and give it a condition of 20 is bigger than 10. And while this condition is true, we're going to be printing out in the console a message true. Now, using this while loop and this given condition will actually make this program run forever, because these numbers are given and they can't change. Then logically the value of these two numbers won't change, so the condition will always be true. So we'll run this program now. And as you can see, the program continues to print out the message true. We can terminate the program by using this red square button next to the console. So the next thing we'll do with our while loop, we'll create a variable, an integer variable a, and set a value of 20 to it. We'll set a value of 0 to our integer a. And now in our condition we want to test that while a is actually smaller than 10. So while a is smaller than 10, we want to do exactly the same. We want to print out that a is smaller than 10. Now again in this program, if we were to run it, it would run on forever, because 0 is smaller than 10, and we aren't changing, we aren't adding anything to our variable, we aren't taking away, we aren't doing anything with it, so its value will always be the same, and this condition will always return true. So this program would run on forever. But what we can do, we can increase the value of a by 1. Now, using this double plus sign, like I've done here, basically increases the value of a variable by 1. So this while loop will be running on until our variable a will reach the value of 10. Because every time the loop loops through this block of statements, then every time that happens, we're adding 1 to our a variable. So if we were to run this, we can see that it loops through and it gives us 10 outputted statements from our println method. We can of course also loop through a while loop, while like a boolean whatever loop is equal to true, and then if loop, then this loop will be looping as long as this boolean is true. Of course, we can also test if we can set a condition that the while loop will be looping through this statement as long as the loop boolean variable is false. But we aren't going to do this right now. So this is all I wanted to say about the while loop. But in this tutorial I also wanted to speak about another type of loop which also is very commonly used in while programming in Java. It is called the for loop. Now it works the same as the while loop, just at first we initialize a variable, we initialize a variable, and then we set a condition, and then we update our for loop. So I'll just show you how a for loop looks. So we've got a for loop, then we create an integer a, which is equal to 0. We use a semicolon to kind of make these single statements in the for loop separate. Then we set a condition that we're going to be looping through our for loop while a is smaller than 10. And then we update our loop by increasing the value of our created a variable by 1. And now, as always, we're going to be printing out text looping, and if we run this program, you should see exactly the same output as would have happened with our while loop, because the for loop basically is based on the same concept as the while loop, just it is we update the actual variable which we are testing, and we've set a condition for it, and we also initialize the actual variable inside the for loop. Yeah, so this is everything I wanted to speak about in this tutorial. I hope I explained everything clearly, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in my next tutorials. And please remember to subscribe, and you can also comment under my video if you don't understand something. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.